got a great guest in studio today. He's the program development lead for the Hood Canal Salmon Enhancement Group. It's a salmon center up in Belfair, just off Highway 3. Seth Elsen on the air. Good morning, Seth.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Good to see you.
Yeah, same to you.
Like in that another one of those, huh?
Yes.
What's that doing to all the rivers around here?
All the rivers are swelling up. We've got a flood watch, I think, for pretty much the whole Olympic Peninsula and all of Western Washington at this point. So it's they're running high, but hopefully we're still getting some snow at the higher elevations, but we're kind of starting that melt-out process. So it'll be interesting to see over the next few weeks how much snow we lose up in the mountains. But we've accumulated a pretty nice snowpack. I think last I checked earlier this month, we were at about 104% of the norm for the Olympics. So we definitely have a healthy snowpack, and if we can kind of have that melt slowly over the next few months, we'll be in pretty good shape.
Is it? Are there fish running in the rivers right now at any point?
Right now, the main one, as we're here to talk about, are steelhead. So we've kind of got a lot of steelhead smolt that have kind of been growing up in the gravel there, getting ready to emerge and start making their journey out. And so, especially here between April and May, into the end of May, they'll be starting their out migration from the rivers. And so, we want to make sure those reds stay intact and everything else.
So tell me a little bit more about the project.
Yeah, so the Hood Canal Steelhead Project, it's one of the really cool projects we work on. We're lucky to work on a lot of cool ones, but it's a big collaborative study we do with other nonprofits, local tribes, the state, and NOAA Fisheries, the federal agency. And so what we're trying to do is see if we can get our steelhead populations back to what they historically were, but using hatcheries, and that's kind of a new idea.
Okay.
Historically, hatcheries haven't always been seen as very friendly to wild fish, but we're kind of trying some changes in hatcheries to see if we can change that. And so what we do for the basis of the project is, for a number of years, we were actually going out and pumping out fertilized eggs from steelhead reds. So we were allowing for natural mate selection and all wild fish to spawn in the river. We would then take those eggs and rear them at the Quilcene National Fish Hatchery, or the Lilywop Hatchery, run by a partner, Long Live the Kings. And the goal there was to raise the survival rate from embryo to adult from about 0.05 to about 80%, just by doing that and trying to control that factor. And so in a state hatchery, you would normally raise your fish to about 1-year-old smolt, just because a state hatchery or a traditional hatchery is focused on pumping fish out in for sport fishery. Mm-hmm. But in this program, we raise them to 2-year-old smolt, which kind of more mimics their natural growth in the stream. And we actually also save some to release as adults to provide immediate help to that spawning population. So
do you know if the fish know that they're in a hatchery versus just a river?
I'm sure they do it at some point, but the great thing is we release them all back into their natal stream, and so they still go through that imprinting process. And so that's one of the things we're monitoring through this project with our smolt trapping, is also taking genetic samples and just trying to look at that and making sure that we're keeping that genetic diversity, keeping those wild genetics, and hopefully we've got really great fitness for wild fish, as opposed to traditionally what you'd have of some of the hatchery fish that maybe don't come from the same stream and just don't have the same fitness level.
So once you get them back out into the rivers, you'll need folks to count them and check them out, make sure things are running right. Need for volunteers? Yeah,
definitely. So the big part of this project that the Hood Canal Salmon Enhancement Group carries out is we operate smolt traps on 3 local rivers. So we trap fish on the Tahuya, the Dawato, and the Little Quilcene. And so what that entails is we set up these big rotary screw traps in the river, and pretty much all juvenile fish that are out migrating will come through this trap. And so each morning we send an intern and a volunteer out. They check the trap, they count and identify all the salmon, the steelhead, trout, and we actually will take the cutthroat and the resident rainbow trout and the steelhead, and we'll collect scale and DNA samples. Again, helps us figure out the age of the fish, helps us figure out any genetic changes, and it also gives us an idea of about how many steelhead are actually going out into Hood Canal from our local rivers each year. So a really cool project. It's a really fun way to get out. A lot of people are good about identifying adult fish, but this is a really fun way to get your hands wet and check out some juvenile fish and kind of build your skills there. And it's just such a cool project, and our trapping locations are in great places. So definitely always need volunteers.
What are the time commitments?
So usually we try to leave the Salmon Center up in Belfair by about 9, and we're usually back by 1. It's not too bad, and we run 7 days a week from April 1st to the end of May. So
you can pick a day, a week, even long. Is this the one where you can stay? They have the facilities where you can sleep over, or is this something different?
So that's our chum project.
Okay.
So later this summer we'll definitely be plugging that for sure. But this one's a little more low key. It's kind of nice, but. We're hoping. Usually we've got good weather, so it's kind of nice. Especially as we get into May, you can take your shorts out in the river and just wade around, and it's just really cool to see. We also get a lot of other stuff in our traps. We have lamprey, beavers we've found in our traps.
Oh wow!
So you never know what you're going to get.
A lot of fun, and if you want more information on this or ways to volunteer, you can always head over to the Salmon Center. It's it's in Belfair, right before Belfair on Highway 3, right next to the Feller Center there. Also 275-3575 and extension 12 is Seth's, and then also online the website for folks.
Yeah, pnwsalmoncenter.org, and you can check us out on Facebook too.
Okay, well, good. Seth, nice to talk with you.
Same to you. Thanks for having me in. I appreciate it.
Get some of this nice weather so people can start getting out there in their shorts.
I saw some sun in the forecast next week, so we're going to cross our fingers.
Fingers crossed on that one for sure.